E aí pessoal, mais uma vez bem-vindos ao canal e a gente continua aqui na convenção de hipnose em Londres e hoje com o Michael C. Anthony, que é um dos maiores hipnotistas de palco do mundo. Tem um curso online sensacional de hipnose de palco com mais de 50 horas. A gente vai falar sobre o curso e ele vai dar algumas dicas para vocês sobre como criar um show de hipnose, como entrar nesse meio da hipnose de palco, mas depois da nossa vinheta. Hey Michael!
How are you, man?
Great.
Good.
I'd like to thank you for giving us a little time and
Happy to be here.
Central
Great
people
to be
in
with
Brazil.
you. Thank you. Hey, everybody.
So Michael, you are nowadays one of the most known stage hypnotists and even created a huge stage hypnosis course.
Right.
Yeah? Can you start by telling us how you got into this world, how you started being a stage hypnotist?
I got into it in a strange way. There was a day when I owned a cookie store, believe it or not. And one day, coincidentally, I went to go see a stage hypnotist. A friend asked me if I wanted to go see a stage hypnotist. And it turned out to be who is now my best friend, Mike Mandel, whom you know.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic show. And that day, I knew that's what I want to do. So I studied, I worked like crazy. It took me 2.5 years and I gave up at one point because there's really no great training for it. But I studied so hard, I put what I thought was a show together. And because I do magic close-up sleight of hand, somebody who saw me do that said, hey, why don't you do a show at my college? I know the person that books the shows. I got in touch with her. I said, tell her I'm a hypnotist. I wasn't. Right?
You have never done it?
Never done it.
Anyone.
But in my mind, I created a whole show after so much study, not just through seeing different live shows. I wonder, why does this person say this? Why does this person say this? Why up here? Why down there? I put together a matrix. Very difficult to do. And the crazy thing is this, they booked the show, having me never done it. I had never hypnotized a person in my life. And they book a show, and that day I was scared to death, sick. And I actually had the nerve, I don't know if I could do this today, had the nerve. I went on stage for 225 people and never hypnotized a person in my life. But I knew how, because I thought I knew how, because I practiced, I was congruent, my body language was great, and I knew how to make them laugh. I figured out details that were very hard to uncover, and I got a standing ovation. But when I was doing suggestibility tests or inducing trance, people are going under. I'm watching it with the audience going, oh, it's working. But out to the audience, I'm like, yes, this is how this works. And from that day on, I booked more shows, and now I've traveled the world and for 22 years. But now, for me, it was time to say, you know what? Let's teach this properly. Let's give everything step by step from beginning to end, so somebody who is not a hypnotist at all, knows nothing about it, or maybe a hypnotherapist, maybe a street hypnotist, they can learn how to take that show to the stage.
Yeah, we were now seeing your online course, and you talk about everything that's related to it. Yeah,
yes.
Even marketing and
yes.
how to build a show and some theories and history of hypnosis.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really complete course.
Everything somebody needs. Pretend you know nothing about hypnosis, but you want to be a stage hypnotist. Everything from your introduction all the way down to selling merchandise after the show. Everything in between, break it down. How to build the show, how to create the induction, suggestibility test, creativity, your opener, your marketing, everything is there. 36 different chapters. It's 50 hours long.
Yeah, and there was a very interesting chapter that I noticed where you said that about some essential skills that someone needs to have to be a stage hypnotist. Yes. Can you talk about a little bit of it?
There are 3 essential skills that everyone must be perfected in who you are as a person. And we teach everything, how to do it from beginning to end. The first one, as a hypnotist, is rapport. But it's not only rapport with your subjects, it's rapport with your audience. whether it be 30 people or 3,000 people. You must know how to get them to like you as a performer. And I show step by step what needs to be done there. The second one...
About that, I noticed in some stage hypnotists that they are too concerned with the audience and then they forget about the subject,
Right.
or they are concerned with the subject and they forget about the audience, and they can't make a relevant show for both parts. Yeah?
That's right. You have to know where that happy medium is. And when you're creating phenomenon on the stage, you have to be sure when your audience is laughing, you're turning and you're laughing with them. Because you don't want to be seen as a hypnotist as, oh, I'm so cool, I know how to do this. If you're laughing with the audience, they like you, then you become like the audience. We're all enjoying this together, right? And therefore you're continuing to create that rapport through the show.
Nice. And what will be the second skill?
The second one is confidence. You must build confidence. We teach about stage fright within the show, how to avoid stage fright, how to get over stage fright. But you must appear confident because as a hypnotist, whether it's hypnotherapist, whatever, if you seem nervous, if they see a hole in you, they'll say, okay, he's not too sure what's happening here. But if you are coming off as confident, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Don't be arrogant. Just be confident in a great way that your audience is going to enjoy.
And that fits for hypnosis in general, yeah?
Right.
Because if you don't show confidence, you won't generate expectation,
right.
and then the subject won't be there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the third one, and this is what separates possibly standard hypnotherapist and a stage hypnotist is creativity. Because you're building a show. You're not only worried about your people on stage, you're being creative to make sure this audience is loving what they're seeing. You're being creative in that, what are the routines that you're building? What are you going to make these volunteers do that is just not what every other hypnotist does? I teach creativity in such a way that the students of Stage Hypnosis University will create their own routines out of thin air of different things they see. Even when they're driving a car, I teach creativity sequences so they can pull things out and realize, hey, that would work great in a show. It's not just the standard things that you see.
And how does our audience can subscribe to your online course and get to know you and find you on social media?
Okay, stagehypnosisuniversity.com. But the viewer should understand that not only is it an online program, it is also a coaching program where they have strategy sessions with me. So we're not just giving information, we're giving transformation. So somebody can take